Folks, my friends, I think that's it. I think that's it. I really do, folks. I think I'm done with YouTube. I mean, why bother? Why be in a real Matthew Street room or studio, as I call it? Why be in a real room like this? Why have a room that I've worked hard to decorate and put up pictures and memorabilia where I keep my records and CDs and other musical items? Why am I here talking a real person, saying real stuff, real things to you, a real human? Yeah, I think so. I'm real. I'm real human, flesh and blood here, Matthew Street, okay? But why do that? Why sit here, a real person who breathes and talks and does all? I'm wasting my time. Why waste time, right? Why waste time creating? The time it takes to create something, to make a video, you have to write down ideas or think of ideas, and then you got to plan it out. What am I going to do? When am I going to film it? How am I going to film it? What am I going to say when I film it? Then after you're done doing all that, you got to edit, especially if you want to add music or pictures to the video, like I do sometimes. It takes time. And then you have to present it. You have to put it up on YouTube and add all this stuff to it and tags and all this stuff. Why go through all that? I might as well just go full AI, artificial intelligence. Why not just do that, right? Just, go to one of these, I won't even say names to promote them, but go to one of these services, these AI services. I'll just type in a few words, give it a few basic instructions, and voila! I'm a genius all of a sudden, right? Just have AI, artificial intelligence, do everything. And be on the Matthew Street show. Oh, wait a minute. Whoa. Why even be Matthew Street doing this fake with AI? Better yet, why don't I become an AI rock star? Why do this when I can be a rock and roll legend? Right? Just takes a few minutes nowadays, right? Why not? I'll just create a fake look. Matt Street, the rock star. And then I'll just type in to create some fake music that I like. Take a little power pop, a little bit of rock and roll, a little bit of punk, a little bit of, swagger. And, hey, make me a full album, AI, with a cool voice and cool guitars and some Rickenbacker jangle. Come on, make me a fake album. Heck, I'll even create some fake hotties. Ooh, they can worship my butt. Hee. Matthew Street, the ladies love him. Look at the ladies, Why don't I do that? I know I'm being fresh, folks. I'm being sarcastic. I'm being a bit rude here. I admit it. I'm sorry, But I've learned recently over the last while, and I kind of was in my periphery, but I didn't go full on thinking about it too much. But lately I have, because I've been hearing a lot about this fake band out there. Have you heard about them? The Velvet Sundown. Have you heard about this band? Well, they're not a real band, folks. They're totally, completely, utterly AI generated. To the point that someone, or AI, but someone had AI do it, actually created a full album for these clowns, these fake clowns, called Velvet Sundown. The album is called Floating on Echoes. Isn't that cute? But you know what's the bad part, folks? You might say, well, what's the big deal, man? It's a band that made a fake album. I see it on YouTube all the time, this fake stuff. Folks, this band and their album have 1 million, count them, 1 million Spotify monthly listens. They're getting that many monthly listens on Spotify. And who knows where else? I only looked up Spotify, but who knows what other people are out there listening to it or streaming it? Who knows wherever? I have no clue. And it's all fake, total fake. And yet it has this mass appeal. You're talking a monthly listening base of 1 million just on Spotify? They've even got a song called Dust on the Wind. And my first thought was when I heard that, typical AI, they plugged it all in. And AI went to the Kansas song, the legit band Kansas, and took dust in the wind and changed one word and one letter to dust on the wind. And now we have a new song by Velvet Sundown with 1 million listens. So sickening, folks. #1 in various dumb countries that would list that as #1 song. And it's total bullshit. Bullshit. Okay? That's what I say. Okay? Bullshit. Folks, if this doesn't scare you, if this doesn't, as a music fan of one of my loyal viewers and my friends out there, I love you all. If this doesn't scare you or make you sad as a music fan, or if you don't think that this could totally destroy human musical creativity, you're delusional. This is not good. Seriously, folks, I will never, ever support AI music. And the Velvet Sundown can kiss my ass. Okay? Sorry, I got angry there. But seriously, folks, I will never support this. I want real people. I want, like you, all right? I'm preaching to the choir here. We want real people. We want real talent, musical talent. We want real musical skills, real musical voices, beautiful voices. Whether it's a rough and gruff voice like Keith Richards or a beautiful voice like Elvis Presley, that's what we want, okay? We want real, authentic. Who they are is what they are, and that's what we love, and that's what we want. Real songwriting, someone who sat down with their brain, whether it's a pea brain or a watermelon brain, and sat down and wrote out some music. Or had the talent to present it, like Elvis, the Beatles, the Ramones, Cheap Trick. I'm naming some of my favorites. The Raspberries. Think of your favorites. They've established a base at least all the ones we love right now from the past. They've got a base. They're there. They got a base fandom that will always stay with them. But what's going to happen down the road, folks? 5, 10, 15, 20 years when I'm gone. You know, what's going to happen? What makes me worried is the current artists out there, the rock and roll artists or other musical genres too, but the rock and roll artists out there today, they are suffering or going to suffer the most from this AI music like the Velvet Sundown. Why should they work so hard? The new bands, the newer current bands out there today. Why create original art, musical art? It takes a long time to do it, folks, to sit down and write music and lyrics and then figure it out and then the music of it and then record it and present it. When AI, it takes a long time and AI can do it in a few seconds. And then idiots out there consume that over real, authentic music. Like some current stuff I've even been talking about in recent videos. I just did a video not too long about the Gripweeds, who have been around since the 90s and just put out like their 10th studio album. And I think it's their best album in their entire career, called Soul Bender. I did a whole review about it. Why should they bother when someone could make a fake Soul Bender in 2 seconds? One of my favorite new current bands, young guys in their 30s, the Midnight Callers, put out an album a couple of years ago, one of the best albums of the year in 2023, called Rattled Humming Heart. Love that album. Gets tons of airplay on Little Steven's Underground Garage, on Sirius XM, coolest songs in the world. They're out there. They're not a known band. They're not making a career out of music. They just love music. It's their passion. They have day jobs, and yet they're making albums, and they're working on their 3rd album right now as I speak. But why should they bother when someone can just go get a couple of clicks on an AI app and make an album in 10 seconds? An obscure band I love from the 1980s called The Numbers put out one great album in the 80s called 64 to 67, the anthology. And I'm going to be talking about them soon because they have after many, many years, they've reunited. They've been active doing other things over the years, but The Numbers, 80s power pop band, have reunited. They're coming out with a brand new album called Mad Day Out. I'm going to review it here and do a video. Brand new music. They've worked so hard to get this second Numbers album out after many decades. When people are doing AI music. These guys have worked their butts off for years, busting their butts for what? For nothing, for people to make AI and get 1 million clicks on Spotify. I'm sickened by it. Absolutely sickened by it. Velvet Underground. Velvet Sundown's going to reap accolades and benefits from idiots out there consuming their music when these newer artists are trying to put out new material, new albums, the right way, the real way, creativity, using their brain. And they can't get the clicks, but Velvet Sundown gets 1 million clicks. Listens, whatever. I'm sickened by it, folks. I absolutely want to throw up and puke to know that this is the way we're going with music. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm out of here. I just want to say, no, I'll never be Matt Street, AI, rock star, fake. That was, just me being silly in the beginning. But I'm going to tell you one thing I'm not being silly about. I will do everything in my power to undermine and destroy AI music. That's my promise. I will never support it. I will never play it. I will never speak about it or promote it. Never. I'm just telling you, folks, I'm just saddened by this, and you should be too. That's it, folks. I just had to get it off my chest. I love you all. Bye-bye.